The girl asked her mom, "Did you ever wish I was deaf like you?" Her mom signed back to her, "When you were born, I actually prayed that you'd be deaf like me. And when the doctor told me you were a perfectly normal baby, I felt really disappointed." But instead of being upset, the girl smiled and snuggled into her mother's arms. Her name was Ruby. Both of her parents were born deaf, and even her older brother inherited their hearing loss. Ruby was the only one born hearing, which made her the family's bridge to the outside world. Ruby woke up before sunrise every day to go fishing with her family. She handled the radio on the boat, bargained with fish buyers, and was so busy she often didn't even have time to change clothes before rushing to school. Because she woke up so early, she often fell asleep in class.
Ruby? Ruby!
And smelling like fish all day didn't exactly earn her sympathy from other teenagers.
Oh, at least she's not doing deaf voice anymore.
Many classmates picked on her. Some knew she came from a deaf family and would mock her parents by imitating how deaf people talk. Even though Ruby was tough inside, years of bullying still left her feeling insecure.
It's gonna be so exciting. Now don't be scared. Everyone will love you.
The girl is dressed beautifully. She drives a sports car, pulling up with a car full of luggage to enroll at Harvard University. Students turn to look at her. They've never seen a girl like this before, but everything started a few months earlier. That day, she was dressed up beautifully, ready to be proposed to by her boyfriend. But what he said left her completely stunned.
I think we should break up. If I'm gonna be a senator, well, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn.
She couldn't understand why being beautiful had suddenly become a mistake until she saw a news article. Her ex-boyfriend's brother had just gotten engaged. His fiancée wasn't attractive at all, but she was a law student. That's when it all clicked. The girl made a bold decision.
What are your backups? I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard.
Harvard has a required application step, a video essay. So she recorded a video like this.
Oh, hi. My name is Elle Woods. And for my admissions essay, I'm going to tell all of you at Harvard why I'm going to make an amazing lawyer.
At the same time, she studied relentlessly. When others were out partying, she was studying. When others were working out, she was still studying. In the end, she finally achieved her goal. But on her very first day of class, she sits in the middle of the lecture hall. Every other student has already previewed the material. She's the only one who has no idea what's going on. The professor smiles and randomly calls on a female student.
Do you think it's acceptable that Ms. Woods is not prepared?
No. I don't.
Would you support my decision to ask her to leave class and to return only when she is prepared?
Absolutely.
She's confused. She doesn't even know this girl. So why would she encourage the professor to kick her out? Very soon, she finds out why. That girl is her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. But she doesn't back down. She shows up in front of her ex dressed boldly and confidently. Before long, his attention is drawn back to her.
Guys,
The next day, the fiancé invites her to a costume party. She has no idea it's actually a trap. She shows up dressed as a bunny girl. Everyone is shocked. This isn't a costume party at all. In everyone's eyes, she looks like a complete clown, including her ex-boyfriend.
you're not smart enough, sweetie.
Wait, am I on glue or did we not get into the same law school, Warner?
Well, yeah, but
But what? We took the same LSATs and we're taking the same classes.
I know, but come on, Elle, be serious. You can do something more valuable with your time.
Some fishermen are out at sea when they suddenly haul up something strange in their net. A terrifying screech comes from inside, and the experienced fishermen immediately know something's wrong. A few days later, the military buys the creature's body from them. In ancient texts and myths, creatures like this are called sea demons, but from a scientific standpoint, the general prefers to call them aquatics. Biologists discover a pearl embedded in the creature's neck. They believe it's some kind of ID, holding biological information unique to the species. But with today's technology, all humans can detect is a lump of calcium carbonate. On the general's orders, the soldiers put the pearl back where they found it. As they're leaving, Buckley can't help but feel uneasy, staring at the aquatic body hanging in midair. But with his low clearance, there's nothing he can do. All he can manage is a quiet prayer. The general decides it's time to reach out and try to build a relationship with this ocean civilization. Based on the creature's vocal organs, the research team develops a translation device. It's still in testing, but it can handle a few simple sentences.
What was that, sir?
A translation pulse. We said hello.
Then, late one night, danger quietly creeps into the warehouse where the body is stored. On night watch are Corporal Morgan and Private Duralala. They assume it'll be an uneventful shift, but they're dead wrong. The attack comes from underground. Morgan notices the dirt beneath their feet turning damp. Before they can react, the ground starts giving way and they begin to sink.
No, hold on to me. Come on! Jesus!
Realizing something's seriously wrong, Morgan grabs the radio and calls for backup.
The little girl suddenly had an idea. She took her popsicle, the one she'd already taken a bite of, and stuck it into the mouth of the horse with the broken leg. When she pulled it back out, all that was left was the wooden stick. So she tore open another popsicle, took a bite, and fed it to the horse again. And just like before, it disappeared in one big chomp. She looked at the two little sticks in her hand and smiled, then stuck them into the ground, a tiny symbol of the friendship between her and the injured horse. From that day on, she stayed by the horse's side, keeping it company. But she had no idea that this small act of kindness would bring her family an opportunity they never could have imagined. Kaylee was born on the only horse farm in Kentucky. Growing up around her dad and grandpa, she fell in love with horses. But the once glorious ranch was long gone, leaving behind only an empty stable. One day, she heard her dad's workplace was hosting an important race. Kale didn't even bother grabbing a jacket. She ran out and stood in front of the car, looking up at her dad with those big, hopeful eyes. Her dad's heart melted instantly. He agreed to take her to the track, and Kaylee finally broke into a smile. Her dad worked there as a horse trainer, and one of the horses was a little mare named Sonia, his pride and joy. The moment Kale saw Sonia, she was completely drawn to her. She even gave Sonia her favorite candy. Watching the mare happily chew it, Kale's heart felt full and warm.
And rich white people pay me to play piano for them because it makes them feel cultured. But as soon as I step off that stage, I go right back to being just another nigga to them.
The doctor had just finished his performance. The two of them were rushing through the rain. Soon, a police car pulled them over and demanded a check. It turns out that racial discrimination here is even worse. There's a rule that black people can't be out after dark. The police checked Tony's ID.
How you say this last name?
Bellalomo.
Yeah, what kind of name is that?
Italian.
Oh, I see. That's why you driving him around. You half a nigga yourself.
One punch landed them both in the police station. The doctor says, "You can detain my colleague, but you can't hold me without a valid reason."
Well, I got cause. Because you let the sun set on your black ass.
The doctor asked to make a call to his lawyer. This is a right he's legally entitled to. At that moment, the young officer standing nearby speaks up, confirming that the doctor does have that right. Left with no choice, the sheriff allows the doctor to make a phone call. After he finished the call, he turned to Tony and said, "They're out there enjoying coffee while we're stuck here."
You never win with violence, Tony. You only win when you maintain your dignity. Dignity always prevail. And tonight, because of you, we did not.
Then the sheriff received a callback. It was the governor on the other end. This made the sheriff panic. He quickly ordered his officers to release them.
They think of what hit me! You won't keep your goddamn job? Then you do what I goddamn tell you to do when I goddamn tell you to do it. And I'm telling you to get him the goddamn out.
Tony was shocked. It turns out the doctor had called the president's brother. When they stepped outside, Tony felt great, but the doctor felt completely humiliated. Tony explained that the two cops had made the doctor stand in the rain for questioning.
You hit him because of what he called you. I've had to endure that kind of talk my entire life. You should be able to take it for at least one night.
This upset Tony. He said the doctor didn't understand what it was like to be black. The doctor lived in a castle, throwing concerts for the rich, while he himself had to struggle to provide for his family. He said, "I'm more of a black man than you are." The doctor got angry. He told Tony to pull over and walked out into the rain. Tony, seeing this, ran after him.
And I suffered that slight alone because I'm not accepted by my own people, because I'm not like them either. So if I'm not black enough, and if I'm not white enough, and if I'm not man enough, then tell me, Tony, what am I?